Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, and Facebookers all across the nation. Uneducated Network presents Uneducated Sports Talk, and I'm your host, Carlos Clayton, and today we're going to end our top 100 NFL players list of 2016. We have 10 through 1, which is remaining. Everybody knows who 1 is, but let's find out who was 10 through 1. After that, we'll talk about little Paul George as well. Paul George moved to Oklahoma City. Could he stay? Are the Lakers kind of tingling? We'll find out about that. So let's dive right into it. In the top 100 NFL players list, we've had some players who we knew belonged in these positions, whatever number they were. And we had a lot of players it was kind of head scratching, like why are they in this particular number? A lot of them I didn't agree with, but these are by the peers. Get that understood. It's not by just people writing. It's not by people like me. It's not by analysts. It's not by people who don't play the game. This is by people who play the game. So in some kind of way, you have to respect that. And you have to respect how they feel. Now, I don't know how they tally all the players who are ruling this or judging the players, but they got it how they wanted to do it, and you got to respect that. And I respect that at the end of the day, your peers are judging you off your performances. But like I said, had a lot of iffy situations. A lot of guys I thought were supposed to be a little lower on the totem pole, but they're higher. Injuries let people go a little lower as well. But with that being said, this top 10 is nothing to play about. It's nothing to frown upon either. I believe just about every guy's in the top 10 belong in the top 10 based off their year or the last 2 years. They belong in that situation. So let's dive right on to it, man. So at number 10, Matt Ryan, the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. He is number 10 in the top 100 NFL players list for 2016. Offensive Player of the Year, led his Atlanta Falcons to the Super Bowl. We all know how that came about and how that ended. But regardless of all that, 38 touchdowns. He was so close from 5,000 yards, 4,944 yards of passing this year. He had commanded that offense like we've never seen it. We all know who he was in the last couple years, and he's called Matty Ice for a reason. He's Mr. Fourth Quarter, but sometimes he makes boneheaded decisions. But now this year, he has full control of the offense. Even when Julio Jones is down or just wasn't playing well, he got everybody else involved in that whole entire team. There was nobody being selfish when it came down to the wide receiver core or the tight end core. Everybody got looks, everybody got touches. I mean, you had your fourth string tight ends catching touchdowns. That tells you how in Matt Ryan was with this offense in this particular year. So now with Kyle Shanahan being gone, you got to think maybe he has a little setback next year. But you never know that because Matt Ryan is just that good. So he is number 10. Number 9, one of my personal favorite guys in the game. Not because of his drug habits or his weed habits, but Le'Veon Bell, running back of the Pittsburgh Steelers. That being said, he missed 4 games and still had 1,218 rushing yards. He missed 4 games. That means he averaged 100 yards per game in just the 12 games he played. Can you imagine? He could have led the league in rushing if he was available all 16 games. He averaged 157 total yards per scrimmage per game. So 157 scrimmage yards per game, which led the NFL. That tells you when he's in there, he is a playmaker. He got hurt against New England. He said if he was available, they would have won. I doubt that. But needless to say, Le'Veon Bell is an absolute beast. He is so shifty at the line of scrimmage. He isn't just a hit the hole and go. No, he finds his way, he tiptoes, and he darts it in there. And he's a big, strong, he's like the perfect back. He's strong, but still fast enough to get in and out of situations, and he's shifty enough. And I like Le'Veon Bell. He's a great running back. So hopefully he can, stay off of the good stuff and play a full season, in which he is on pace to play a full season this year. So at number 8, Odell Beckham Jr., wide receiver, New York Giants. 3 years, 3 straight 1,000-yard receiving years, 288 catches in that 3-year span, which is the most in NFL history, tied with Jarvis Landry from the Dolphins. And look, the guy is a beast. We all know what he can do after the run. We all know his spectacular catching. He had a bad performance in the playoffs. We know that. We've seen that. Bad performance. And he's done some boneheaded things in his career so far. But with that being said, he is still an absolute beast. I don't see him outside the top 10 so far. The top 3 guys, you can see them being in the top 10 because they are top 10 worthy players. So at number 8 is Odell Beckham Jr., and he's only getting better. And their receiving core next year with him having more playmakers, because I think he had almost 40% of their offense. Odell Beckham Jr. did. So now you add in the Brandon Marshall, you add in more key guys now, there's less pressure on him, not that many double teams. So we will see about that. At number 7, Ezekiel Elliott, running back, Dallas Cowboys. Now, people are going to hate me for this. Yes, I don't like the Dallas Cowboys. I can't stand them. But I do respect the players. And I respect the hell out of Ezekiel Elliott. I think he is a great back. But I think 7 was just a little bit... it's tough because, man, the guy deserves it, though. 7, in my opinion, is a little too high for him. Not for 1 year. You have the best offensive line in the game. You have the best O-line in the game, and when he's running, he's not even getting touched after 3 yards. Like, he's still a good back. He's a great back, actually. So, but I think 7 in his first year, he did lead the NFL in rushing with 1,631 yards rushing. He led the NFL in carries with 322. He is the first rookie to lead the NFL in rushing since Edgerrin James, an Indianapolis Colts, in 1999. That being said, I think that they're putting a little bit too much praise on him, just like the Dak Prescott feeling as well, because you're being protected so well. But you cannot ignore the results. And like I said, this is by the peers. And the results came out to 1,600 yards rushing, 322 carries, a trip, had a chance to go to the, not the Super Bowl, but had a chance to beat the Packers in advance to the NFC Championship game. Did not happen. That being said, number 6, Aaron Rodgers, that bad man. In my opinion, I think he is the best overall player in the NFL right now. The best overall player. I think he is a game changer. He just deals with a bad defense pretty much on a day-to-day basis. Something like a Drew Brees. They just deal with bad defenses. But Aaron Rodgers, their defense is good enough to make the playoffs. I'll tell you that, because they make the playoffs every single freaking year. It seems like it. Aaron Rodgers, 40-plus touchdowns. And, that right there led the NFL. 40 touchdowns led the NFL. But he's had 3 straight years where it's 30 touchdowns or more, or 10 interceptions or less. That is amazing. That's amazing. Like, just to have that 3-to-1 ratio is crazy. And it's not even that. He's had better ratios than that. He's had 30 pluses and 9 or 8 interceptions. But that tells you right there he doesn't make any crucial mistakes. Usually when there's a mistake made, is the receiver's not catching the ball, or it's people not blocking for him. But Aaron Rodgers will not make that mistake. I think he is the best player in the game right now. But Aaron Rodgers is number 6. At number 5, Khalil Mack, the defensive end or the outside linebacker, whatever he's playing in that Raiders defense. He is number 5. Khalil Mack is an absolute stud. 11 sacks this year, and which is basically, he cannot be stopped. We've seen the last 2 years, 26 quarterback hits this year alone, and he's led the league in like fourth quarter sacks since he's been in the game. So that means he keeps coming every single play. And in the fourth quarter, he just gets better. I think he has like 11 total sacks in 2 years in the fourth quarter alone. That is mind-blowing. Khalil Mack is a steal. In my opinion, I wasn't too high on him coming from the NFL, but that's why I don't do the scouting. That's why I don't get paid to do the scouting. The scouts know what they're talking about. That's why he was picked so high. I was like, this guy come from the University of Buffalo, and he's going to be I got to see this. Now, Khalil Mack is the real deal. He is the reason why Oakland is a beast on defense and a beast, as a team overall. They will continue to do good. Khalil Mack is a stud, and I like what he brings to that Raiders team, man. So, Khalil Mack is number 5. At number 4, Antonio Brown. This guy right here, this dude here is he is, without Ben and Antonio, I do not know where the Steelers team will be. Antonio Brown commands so much on the offense, and he delivers every single time. I'll tell you that right now. 3 straight 100 reception years, 3 straight 1,000 yard receiving years. He's led the league since he's been in 2012, he's led the league in reception yards and receptions. I think in the 4-year span, he got like 418 or 480, I don't know. A lot of receptions in 4 years. So He's there every single play. He's there every single game. He's shifty. You cannot guard him one-on-one. You have to have someone spying on him or someone covering to his side every play, because if not, he will burn you. And I've never seen a wide receiver that command that kind of attention. He's small in stature, but he has great hands. You saw it, great hands. And great hands will make up for any amount of size. Doesn't matter if you're small, if you have great hands, if you can catch. That right there will help you go a long way in this league. And Antonio Brown is showing everybody why he is considered most people the best wide receiver in the game. But on to number 3, and the best wide receiver in the game to me, Julio Jones. And this was an off season for him. Off season. He had nagging injuries. He missed a game or two. It was just games where he's a decoy, and you saw that, and still got over 1,400 yards receiving. Julio Jones is the best wide receiver in the game, hands down, period. The man cannot be stopped. When healthy, you cannot stop him. He is big, strong, and he is the fastest player, the fastest receiver, in my opinion, with the ball and without the ball. You cannot for real stop him one-on-one when healthy. He was a decoy a lot this year and still got over 1,400 yards receiving. He was a big part of Atlanta's offense, and with him coming fully healthy this year, because you saw it, he about 4 or 5 games, he just didn't get any touches, any looks. He just played the decoy role, But with Atlanta moving that ball like they did the offense, with Kyle Shanahan and Matt Ryan being on the same page, they didn't need Julio Jones to deliver catches. Or they wanted him to be a decoy, which got everybody else involved, which is a beautiful thing that happened. It made everybody else play better. And when you know that you're on a team that everyone's getting the ball, you will try every single time to get open, because you know if you're open, Matt Ryan's going to hit you. Or any system, any quarterback. If you're on a team that's if you're open, you're getting the ball. There's no selfishness going on. You know what's going down. You're going to fight every single time to get that. So with Julio being a decoy this year, the rest of the guys feel like, man, if we get open, we getting the ball. Let's do this, and it showed. But Julio Jones is a straight up beast. He is a beast, and he cannot be stopped when healthy. That's why he is still number 3. A lot of guys in this list did not benefit from the injury bug. But with that being said, Julio Jones was injured and still had the numbers to back it up. That's why he's still number 3 in the NFL top 100 players list, and I'm happy for him. So. At number 2, the best defensive guy in the game still, Von Miller, linebacker from the Denver Broncos. And don't let the Old Spice commercials fool you. This man is a beast and he gets down and dirty. I respect Von Miller in his game because he keeps humming. The best outside linebacker / DN. He reminds you of a Lawrence Taylor for the New York Giants way back in the day, where he just doesn't stop. And you cannot stop him. Like, you literally, no O-lineman one-on-one can stop this man. You can't. No tackle, no guard. You can't stop him. He is big. He is, I call it thigh heavy. He has massive thighs. He's small in stature, but he's massive in his thigh area. So he goes low to the ground. His gravity is low. So with that being said, he comes humming and you cannot stop him. That being said, 13 and a half sacks this year. So that's like 5 years he's had 10 plus sacks already. He's been in the game for a while now. He's a veteran now. But every year he is coming, every single year. That's why he gets paid the big bucks to do what he does. Since being in the league, he's played 88 games. He's had 73 and a half sacks in 88 games. That is mind-boggling to me. That's mind-boggling. And to tell you, he's only going to get better. He's going to get better. And if he stays the same, that's still really, really very, very good. That's a hell of a good job he's been doing for that Denver Broncos team. They have an identity, which is their defense and which is their speed rush. Von Miller, you can't stop him one-on-one. So all these guys that I just named, they deserve to have some consideration in the top 10. Maybe Ezekiel Elliott, I'm not too high, but the numbers do not lie. The man had a wonderful year, excellent. All that being said, it comes down to the number 1, and everybody knew when the Super Bowl was over with and you had your MVP, Tom Brady was going to be the number 1 player on the top 100 NFL players list. You knew that Tom Brady, some are calling him the greatest of all time. He is up there. He is probably the GOAT right now. And I'm not a Tom Brady fan or a Patriots fan, but I give respect when respect is due. Tom Brady is a beast. He is the best player in the NFL right now. In my opinion, I think Aaron Rodgers is the best player, but Tom Brady, for this particular season, his peers that are looking, Tom Brady is the best player in the NFL. He is number one to all the peers and number one to a lot of people's hearts too. You might not like the Patriots, but man, I don't like them, but you gotta respect them. And you respect them no matter what. Winning is their culture, and they will not stop with that culture. They won't stop until maybe Tom Brady's gone or Bill Belichick is gone. You know, there's a debate who's better. Is it Belichick or is it Brady who's running that team? Look, it doesn't matter. They're both producing. They produce championships, Super Bowls. There's 5 Super Bowls for Tom Brady right now. And at the age of 39 and being older now, I mean, the best pass to touchdown, pass to interception ratio, best passing rating for that age. So to be almost 40 years old and still do the things that he does, him and Drew Brees, you're like, well, whoa. You guys are supposed to be done with, and they still continue to blossom. And at Tom Brady, almost 40, he's like, that man can play till he's 40. They weren't lying. Tom Brady was saying, and Drew Brees was saying, man, we could play till we're 45. He's like, they're just saying it to say that. Nah, they probably could play till they're 45, man. Tom Brady, like I said, he might be the greatest of all time. And he is number one on the top 100 NFL players list. Gotta respect that. Quick recap: number 10, Matt Ryan. Number 9, Le'Veon Bell. Number 8, Odell Beckham Jr. Number 7, Ezekiel Elliott. Number 6, Aaron Rodgers. Number 5, Khalil Mack. Number 4, Antonio Brown. Number 3, Julio Jones. Number 2, Von Miller. And number 1, Tom Brady is king once again of the NFL top 100 players list. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. We broke down all 100 players. If you missed it, just go back down and see my recaps of each one. I break them down by 10 per episode. We are done with that. So on some more basketball news. It just recently came out. Paul George landed in Oklahoma City. The fans went wild. It's crazy because he said, he said Kevin Durant told me it's going to be crazy. They're going to respect you and they're going to make sure they do good by you. And I'm like, right? Listen to Kevin Durant. Did he leave that place? I mean, as much as Kevin Durant respected him, he still did him kind of dirty. He left him. So, with Paul George saying that, Kevin Durant put me on to how they are. Oh, okay, whatever, I guess, man. But bigger news is Paul George said, hey, if Oklahoma City, if we do well this year, I wouldn't mind having a contract extension for the next following years. And you're hearing that, if you're a Lakers fan, you kind of like, what you told us you wanted to come to LA. Look. NBA players say stuff all the time. Players in general say things all the time. And most of the time it doesn't come to fruition. Sometimes in the spur of the moment or in the heat of the moment or how they're feeling, because players still have feelings. They're still human beings. Paul George is still a human being. He could, just straight up hated his situation in Indiana and said anything just to get out. And I don't blame him. If you don't like where you're at, then leave. Go ahead. So he said, I'm going to the Lakers. I prefer the Lakers. But he didn't just straight up say, Lakers is where I'm going to be. I guarantee you, I promise, or everything I love, I'm going to be a Laker. He didn't say that. He just said his preferred destination was LA. Now, I said it. Oklahoma City somehow finds a way to get to the Western Conference Final, or, God forbid, the NBA Finals. You would think that Paul George is going to re-up, and LA will lose, Look, LA isn't LA anymore. We understand that. Lonzo Ball, he brings a little bit of spark back to LA, but Paul George going to LA would boost him up big time. But LA has to be somewhat worried because NBA players say stuff all the time just for the hell of it. And then when it actually comes down to getting him, when you got agents talking to you, when you got people's entourage, you gotta help out, all that stuff. And then you think about it, Paul George can just say whatever he wants, but when it comes down to actually making a deal to go to LA, this is hometown, we understand that. But if he sees that team isn't going anywhere, he feels in his mind it's not going anywhere, and you have Russell Westbrook, if he does sign for his $200 million deal next year, and you see the piece that Oklahoma City having, do you really want to win a championship while you're in your prime? Or do you want to go to LA and try and fight for a 6-7 seed and always get bounced out? So when it comes down to it, LA has to be very careful and don't put all your eggs into one basket, because LA will do that. They've been striking out left and right the last 6-7 years getting free agents because no one wants to go to a sorry team anymore. The money is so huge, you don't mind staying in small markets anymore. That's what it is. I'm glad the NBA did that. That's one of the big reasons why the NBA went big with the money, because they say, you know what? We want teams to stay in their small marketplace to make it much more competitive. So, and on a final note, the Rockets and the Knicks are fighting to get Melo, and it's getting deep. Now, we're hearing rumors that there's They are so close. I heard a rumor that they're 2 yards away. You know, we saw what happened when the Seahawks were 2 yards away from a touchdown against the Patriots. Interception. So you just, 2 yards away doesn't mean nothing to me. Until it's completely finished, I won't believe it until it's actually done. Now, Melo said that, he wants to drop his no-trade clause if he can go to the Rockets. But the Knicks want a lot in return. If I am the Knicks, I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. I would wait to bump his value up just a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't have to wait till the All-Star game or the All-Star weekend or before the All. You could give him the first 2 months of the season. Somewhere in December. Then you could trade him to get his stock up. Because right now, the reason why they're having trouble because no one wants to, they're not giving anything back in return. Melo is a star player. They want star players in return. So, or a star player caliber, draft picks. A lot of teams don't have that. Houston doesn't have the draft picks to give New York. They don't have the players to give New York, to be honest. So they're saying that if we can get a 3 or even a 4-team deal, there's a chance. And I'm like, okay, well, here we go. What are teams going to give you? Cash? So be careful what you wish for. So the Knicks, I will ride it out and I let them play to bump the value of someone's going to want Melo when it's all said and done. Someone's going to want him. So that is the end of our show. I hope you guys had a great time listening to this. We had the top 100 NFL players list coming to an end with 10 through 1. We talked about Paul George for a second. Carmelo maybe going to Houston, maybe not. We shall find out, man. So we're going to start a new NBA series. A new NFL series, excuse me. I'm going to call it 32 for 32. So 32 days left before preseason starts. Every day we will talk about a different team and their needs and how they can get better. And we'll give a prediction of how they're going to do for this particular year. We're going to start off with the Cleveland Browns because they are just the sorriest team in the world. And then we will end it with the New England Patriots on day number 32. So one day, the first day will be Cleveland, day number 32. So you know how that will go. 31 will be Atlanta. Obviously, those two made the Super Bowl. So you know how that will go. We will talk about that in full depth. I'm excited about that, and that's coming very soon. Training camp is going to be on the way very soon. So NFL is right around the corner. We are hyped and we are pumped for that. I know I am. I cannot wait for the NFL season to start. I don't care if I got to watch every training camp, from my living room. I don't care. Football is king, in my opinion, and I'm ready for it. So, that being said, like, subscribe, check me out on Facebook. My name is Carlos Clayton. I'm from Lake Charles, Louisiana. If that helps, check me out on Twitter at Carlos Clayton _. I repeat, at Carlos Clayton _. So, Uneducated Network presents Uneducated Sports Talk. So you know what it is, man. Hey, stay smart, stay uneducated. Peace.